Hi, it's Monday. It's 3 o'clock. Welcome to Together Unlocked, brought to you as always by Together 2012. We're an arts organisation based in the main London 2012 Paralympic host borough of Newham. I'm Ju Gosling. I'm an artist and artistic director of Together 2012. With me, where she's been locked down since March, is our chair, the artist, documenter, and campaigner, Julie Newman. Before we have some audio description from East London, we're going to go over, as we say, to the other end of our virtual wheeled sofa, all the way in the West Midlands, to hear the Surgeoners introduce themselves and give us some audio description.
Well, we're so eager. We're arguing about who's going to go first, and it looks like I got the lucky draw. So, good afternoon. Welcome to week goodness knows what of the pandemic. But it is Monday, and together, Unlock TV is back on your screens. So, hi, I am Robin Surgeonator, as Ju said, co-presenter of Together Unlocked TV. I am at the very far end of our virtual wheeled sofa up here in Sutton Coldfield in the West Midlands. I am the business director at Together 2012 and a bit of a musician in my spare time under the name of Angry Fish. So, what do I look like today? Well, behind me is our luscious scarlet crushed velvet curtains. That will do. That is the color of today. Okay, no arguing. And to set that off, I have silvery grey hair. I have no rim black armed glasses, um, blue eyes, continuing my unkempt look as much as possible. And I am wearing a black hoodie with the sleeves rolled up. And for those of you, I have a t-shirt of the same because it's obviously unashamed advertising. It is a sweatshirt that says Black Thursday by Angry Fish. It's black with the white logo with those words and a picture of a ballot box.
Hi, I'm Josh Surgeonator, one of the other co-hosts of Together Unlocked, and I'm a PhD student. I have long blonde hair that's currently kind of standing up by itself almost. I blame the hairdryer for the extra volume, but there we go.
We think it's very good at this end.
Thank you. I'm wearing a navy, kind of very dark blue zipped sweatshirt. It says Adidas on one side, and then it says Team GB with the Olympic rings on the other.
Fantastic. So, as I said, I'm Ju Gosling. I've got short, tenured red hair in a self styled corona crop. I've got green eyes behind black plastic glasses, black wrist braces, silver coloured jewellery, olive skin, although this is in no particular order at all, is it? And today I'm wearing a grey t shirt that says on it in sort of like traffic light signs, "Don't walk, dance." And I'm wearing that because today, being the fourth Monday of the month, was our Together Screen Dance Club on Zoom. And I'll tell you a little bit more about how that went a bit later. But first, I think, without further ado, some audio description and introductions from Julie.
Hi, I'm Julie Newman. I'm the chair of Together 2012. Today, my hair is washed and reasonably tidy. It falls quite naturally to the side and slightly swept back. It's gold with silver bits. I'm wearing dark glasses. I have a brown t shirt on, which is one of my favorite in the world. I've had it for, about 25 years. It's brown. It's got sort of a rocky outcroft like a mountain on it, and at the bottom there's an eagle flying, which I love.
And behind us are silver crushed velvet curtains, our Together graffiti banner, and that, although you can only see a little bit of it, has images on it of all the different art forms we cover in the course of a year, this year being actually no exception. So that's photography, filmmaking, dance, drama, street art, circus art, music, visual art, craft. and probably quite a bit more that I've forgotten about. We deliver an artistic program every year, and at the moment, we've just entered week 3 of our annual Disability History Month festival. So, we're going to be telling you a lot more about that as the program goes on. We'll also be telling you later how you can join in from home. But before that, just to explain, we have what we call our clubs program, which since last year has been funded by the National Lottery Community Fund. And just in the nick of time, because we couldn't have been delivering virtually otherwise, the Community Fund funded 3 part time workers to support us in this work. And it's effectively, we deliver free creative workshops for disabled people and whoever they want to bring with them. In more usual times, that would be on weekday mornings in East Ham. This year, of course, we're operating by Zoom and also by telephone. If anybody is interested in joining in our clubs, I'm going to put some information up on the bottom of the screen now. But just email us. It's info@together2012.org.uk. The clubs are running a little bit shorter in time because of screen fatigue. So on a Tuesday, the art club does Make and Natter, where you can either bring your own craft project or join in with an accessible one that's based on things that you would already have at home. On Friday, we have Still Life with the Art Club. And on a Wednesday, we have a phone based poetry group where we phone you and we pay the cost of the calls. So we'll tell you a lot more about that on Wednesday. On a Monday, we have monthly clubs. So the fourth Monday, like I say, is dance. And the second Monday is photography and filmmaking. And fortunately, of course, our dance club had already decided right back at the beginning in about 2016 that they were only going to make masked dance for film. So that couldn't have been better, really. So, come January, we are going to make our own little Zoom based dance film and have that ready for the summer when we hope finally to be back dancing in person, if still wearing rather a different kind of mask than we'd originally anticipated. So, on a Friday, we always recommend things to do for the weekend, as well, of course, as the things that are available in our very own festival. How did you get on at the weekend, Julie? I was working in a different part of the house, so I didn't really see you.
I didn't see you either. It was interesting. I followed the. I think I recommended the Vendée Globe, uh, and I followed that, and it's interesting to see how the boats are approaching a point where if there's any faults, it's going to show. So a couple of the boats have had to pull over for repairs, which is interesting. I think because of the why has it got any relevance to us? I think because of the technology involved. It's like most of these things where you have a lot of money invested in boats, cars, whatever. You get cutting edge technology, and hopefully from that we get things like lighter batteries, and lighter materials and stronger materials. I think as disabled people, we very often sort of fall out of the public eye in relation to research and development for sustainable and long lasting equipment for ourselves.
Yes, and I think it's also, I think Josh and I were saying this in relation to these round the world sailors last week. One of the reasons they're so much more able to do that as women who, just on average are lighter and have, less muscle power, is that the sailors have created all of these incredible winches and things, which again is very much about how does just one person sail an entire ship. Well, that's with a lot of very, very careful technology, which means brute strength is not required. So all of us get older, all of us lose strength. So those kind of things. I think also, though, it's part of that virtual nature watch, isn't it? While we're all rather restricted, shall we say, being able to follow some of these sailors and just fantasize about being out on the water. And then if it all becomes too real and you realize, actually, I'd rather not have 50-foot cold waves crashing down on me while I'm eating my dried food. Lockdown actually then seems a little bit better than it did before. How was your weekend in the West Midlands?
Oh, um, I had moments of anxiety. I think 4 people locked down in one household has its moments of um, frayed edges. A couple of things I did. I think one thing is just thinking about technology and what you're talking about. Is that a few months ago we were super keen on the SpaceX launch, and what it meant and stuff. And I watched this weekend. They're now it's all it's now just they're just commuting to the space station now, on an Elon Musk spaceship, and it's so weird how that is kind of just that we do that now, you know. So they can put man in space, but I still can't get my bum on an accessible toilet half the places I go to. But there you go.
Yes, I think that's don't get us started.
Suits where interestingly we used one board and 3 different sets of questions, one for Josh and I, one for Tracy, and a Harry Potter set for Emily. Tracy went between the ones that she knew the most answers to.
Yeah.
And yesterday actually, we Emily and I, because we were both trying to stay fit, and obviously her swimming, she's trying to keep fit. We thought we'd go out for some fresh air exercise, staying in our 2-person bubble, go to Sutton Park. Which is huge. Sutton Park is massive, but it was rammed. It's really, because I got there to where I would normally park, and I thought this must be an event that somehow has been allowed to happen in the park, but no. And we went to the next place. No, eventually, we did find somewhere to park, but excuse me, it was everyone and their dog, and their micro powered scooter or go-kart or whatever, had decided that it had finally stopped raining in Birmingham, so they would go to the park. Nevertheless, we did still enjoy a brisk 3-mile push through the muddy leaves. So there you go.
Well, each to their own. And of course, when you introduced yourself, you forgot to explain to us that you are indeed a Paralympian and elite swimming coach. You always reckon that your family is the most competitive in the world. I would say if you're going to play a competitive game during lockdown, edges are bound to get frayed. But I think whatever the number of people you're locked down with, tempers always get frayed, and it's particularly miserable if you can only be cross with yourself. So we welcome you to be hanging out with this more than slightly anarchic live stream. I think it gets more anarchic rather than less, particularly as the gremlins don't get any less. I can hear, as I've been able to since the beginning of the show, a cat snoring very loudly in the studio close to us. As we always say, you'll see the cat coming before you see the cat, because you'll see our cameras start to shake. We have no fewer than 5 cats in this house at the moment. There are 2 cats in the West Midlands. There are 2 assistance dogs in East London. If you hear them, see them, or just think, like so many people do, they're far more interesting than us. You can go to our animal hosts page and see photos and find out more about them. To get to that page, you go to the main Together Unlocked TV page on the website, and you go to the pull down menu. And more importantly, when you get to that pull down menu, the first thing you will see is the highlights and links page. Everything we discuss and all the videos we show will be on that highlights and links page, and along, of course, with the links from last weekend if you're still looking for more to do than our festival can offer. But just very briefly now, we're going to move on to our.
We haven't heard what Josh did.
Never mind.
I want to know.
Yes, I know. See, this is what I mean about anarchy. Unfortunately, on our schedule, if we want to have app date at all, it's now or never, guys. Josh, tell me something app related you did at the weekend.
I used the Eurosport Player app to watch the ISL, and I used the Amazon app to watch the rugby.
Brilliant. And did you enjoy them?
We did, yeah. They were kind of on in the background mostly because we were doing other things, but yeah, very much enjoyed it.
I didn't know you could watch sport on the Amazon app. Is that is that part of the Prime service?
Well, the Autumn Nations Cup that's on at the moment is kind of ran by, I guess, or kind of supported by Amazon. It's still the Quilter Internationals, but it's kind of all through Amazon. And they do the same for the US Open, that Amazon have the kind of streaming rights for it.
Well, then as an Amazon customer and a Prime customer, I had absolutely no idea. Julie, last Monday you were talking about stop motion apps.
I was indeed. I did a trial run with a, a little piece of plasticine that I got just to try and see how well I could work it. I wasn't at all sure because I've got a bit of arthritis in my hands and I wasn't too sure how hard it was going to be. In the event, it worked very well. So I thought, okay, boom, boom. And I ordered big lumps of plasticine, which arrived at the weekend. I was just looking at them earlier this morning while Ju was dancing, and thinking, okay, I'm going to create a storyline for Precious. I'm going to use Precious as the subject of the stop animation.
Precious being an assistance dog and not a cat.
No, Precious is my assistant's dog. And she is also a poet. She writes her own poetry. So I thought she could have a little film sort of exploring her poem on going to the park.
And you were saying last week, if I recall rightly, so this is an iPad app, is it, called Stop Motion? Or is it a phone app? Is it a computer app?
It's a free
I think
app.
both.
Yeah, it's sort of like
because Hazel had talked about it on the youth stuff, and I think it's available on both.
Yeah, I think
yes,
that's right.
because I know
Thanks,
when I put
Josh.
the links in last Monday, one of them was Apple only, but one of the ones you recommended you could get on absolutely every platform, or absolutely every platform. So, what do you do, just to recap for people who don't know what stop motion is? How will you go about it?
Well, I'll try and film it as I go through. I mean, now that I've had a trial run and I know that I can actually manipulate the plasticine, which was my concern, I wasn't sure how difficult that was going to be. I think the way to do it is to create lots of preciouses. So I've got one a little precious to use as a model. And then I think the way to do it is to create lots of preciouses in different, doing different things. So, Precious walking will have her paws moved from one side to the other, so that I'll have, rather than have to move the plasticine and try and remember where it is, I'll basically I'll have precious stand-ins that will move in. I've decided to do it with a green screen as well, so that we can I can create a street view thing if I want to, or I can use my own artwork, or I can use pictures that I've taken of the park previously. So yeah, I think the way to do it is to, I think, firstly create a storyline in your mind. And once that's created, then think about what do you need for the scenery, what do you need that's going to be the closest to the creature or the person or the animal that you're manipulating, and to get that set up, then to create different models of the person, the creature, or the animal going through different things. So, sort of like Precious running, Precious shaking her head, that sort of thing. The sort of thing that you see with Precious and Merlot on the Wednesday Nature Watch. And the idea then is to use the app and take a picture of each movement, sort of like, so that I'd have a start off perhaps with Precious standing in a park, so she'd be standing still. So I think about the angle that I want to shoot of her. Sort of, do I want her facing me? Do I want her facing sideways? Do I want her facing the park? And then once I've got that clear in my mind, I think the idea then would be to sort of like start to move her frame by frame.
Although not literally frame by frame, because that's what the app does, isn't it?
Yeah.
And with traditional stop motion, well, traditionally you would have 25 frames a second in TV and 30 frames a second in film, and now, of course, it goes up to 60 or even more. And you would have to have photographed every single frame, so you would have to do 25 photos just to do a second. What the app will do is take you on a bit of a journey. So I don't know, say the dog is standing, and then you do 2 or 3 different moves towards making it sit, and then the app will generate all of the frames in between. That's right, isn't it? We seem to be getting a little bit of feedback at this end, and whatever I do, it's not disappearing. Are you hearing any little feedback at your end? A little bit of echo?
What we're getting is a bit the same as Friday, is that your sound just keeps dropping out and coming back in. Not as bad as Friday.
Is it linked to the laptop that you're using?
No, I don't think it is,
No, I
because
meant Josh.
no, it isn't, Judy.
Doing anything.
So what I'll do next then is, I think we are having a technical problem that's actually related to the internet, because the signal is dropping in and out from the server. But I'm going to put on the trailer for Act Up Newham.
I am Tony.
My name's Tony too.
Tony. Tony. I am Tony.
Where memories take us to unexpected places.
A struggle between good and bad.
What do you think Tony would choose? Tuesday, 24 November, 7 o'clock.
Really looking forward to that. I think that would be great.
Yeah, it
Now,
looks amazing. Really excited about it.
now I understood here from the end that we've got sound problems. So I'm going to hand over the West Midlands to tell you more about tomorrow night. And I am Tony. Just to let my co-hosts know, we have nothing plugged in that we had plugged in on Friday. We had the same problems. We've turned the desk on and off, and it does appear to be a problem on the server, because the sound system worked fine for Zoom all morning. So I may just have to engineer the show from this end and hand over to you guys, because there doesn't appear to be anything else we can do. But if we can, I'll get it sorted out. But I'm going to pop you on screen to talk about I Am Tony for now.
Okay, well, it is we're a solo duo for at least the interim period. So apologies that we're having sound problems again. Yeah, there does seem to be something to do with when we're live. So tomorrow night, within the festival, is going to be a show, a performance of a piece called I Am Tony. This is being created, produced, rehearsed, put together by Act Up Newham, our associate drama company, and incredibly making the use of the internet. I mean, both before lockdown started, because this process has been going on a while. but any idea of being able to get together in real life, not now a possibility. This show has been created through using Zoom and recording people on their laptops and working with a company
Chile.
called Los Inseparables in Chile. For those of you who don't know, Chile is in South America, which is on the other side of the Atlantic and quite a long way south. I'm just gonna. I know lots about Act Up Newham, but I'm going to tell you what it says on the festival website. Again, the festival website is at is a link on together2012.org.uk, and there is a tab at the top that says Festival Together 2020 Disability History Month Festival Program. And if you scroll down that, you will get to talking about I Am Tony and Act Up Newham. So let me just tell you, Act Up Newham is a community-based training company embedding arts awards and other nationally recognized qualifications and creating a wide range of productions based on the lived experiences of the members. Excuse me, sorry. The majority of the actors are disabled people of color, many of whom speak 2 or more languages. Actors with learning difficulties, who face significant barriers to accessing further education locally, often train solely with the company, while other members also have mainstream training and qualifications. So, ACT UP have been a huge part of Together 2012. Pretty much since our outset, and certainly certain members of it have been, linked with Together 2012 for nearly 8 years. Josh, would you like to read the next bit down? Just tell us a bit more about how they've been working.
Yes, this is a little bit more on the specifics of tomorrow evening. So it says, since March, the company has been creating content weekly on Zoom, which is included on the Together Unlocked live stream. So for Black History Month, we had kind of profiles for the different members of ACT UP on each of the shows throughout the month. So those are also embedded on the page for I Am Tony, to be able to watch those and kind of learn a little bit more about the company before seeing them perform tomorrow evening. Which from what I've seen of ACT UP, and there's kind of bits and pieces in those profiles of some of their previous work that they've done kind of on stage when in person was allowed. I'm quite looking forward to, quite excited to kind of see what they've been able to come up with over Zoom, because their stage productions have looked kind of really exciting. So it'll be quite interesting to kind of see where they've gone with this kind of Zoom angle. I know you probably even have to see a little bit more of them than I have, but
well, just as I kind of been associated with Together myself since its outset, I have seen productions both on screen, but also in person at a number of different festivals. So both at the kind of our official Together festival, but also across summer events. I've seen them 2 or 3 times at events in the Olympic Park as part of what was originally National Paralympic Day. And I forgive me for not remembering the other day they came up with, and of course it's now the Queen Elizabeth Park, and always been thoroughly entertained. And I think that is what really matters about this. It's not who the actors are. It's not whether or not they have additional support requirements to take part in their learning, or their they're getting to grips with the characters. It's simply it's enjoyable. It's entertainment. It's enjoyable entertainment. They bring it. There's lots of humor. There's lots of movement. There's always loads of color and stuff. And they choose topics that sometimes are raise questions, should we say? Controversial maybe as well. And why not? A lot of great art from the past has been built upon, the rights or the fight for the rights of people, or demonstrating the fights of people not getting their rights. So it's kind of really, really good stuff. But the bottom line is, it's great. It's really good.
Yeah, so the actual event, it starts at 7 tomorrow evening, and kind of doors open, if you like, in terms of kind of relating it to a physical event at 6:30, but the actual event itself will start at 7. So when it does kick off at 7, there will be captions available, and there will be BSL interpretation available as well. I will just say, in order to access that BSL, you will need to be on the Zoom webinar and using a computer. Unfortunately, at the moment, that's just a limitation of Zoom. It's not available to be able to see on a mobile device or tablet. It only gives you the active speakers. If you do need the BSL, you will have to be kind of tuned in on the Zoom. And the details of that, I believe, are on Eventbrite. There's a link to book that on the Together website. If you go down to the section for the Act Up's performance tomorrow night, there'll be a link that says book here, and that will take you through to Eventbrite to be able to sign up for a ticket. I think Robin is just checking that.
I am, but they're not open on this computer typically. I will just double. I'm going to get that up. I know, but technology
I've
got like
here,
3 screens going.
I have.
Okay. So, yeah, it is, as Joshua was telling us, it is on Eventbrite. And if you follow the link that says book here from the festival website, you'll go to a lovely picture. And then there is a big green button towards the right hand side of the window, which says register.
And if you click that, you'll then put in your booking details, and then you'll be sent a link to access that webinar tomorrow evening. Now, it's almost time for our joining from home video for Monday. So I'm wondering if that is able to be played from the Newham office.
So we'll carry on talking. Oh, yes, there we go.
2012 is running a Join In From Home programme from our website, together2012.org.uk. Click on the link at the top of the page, Join In From Home, to go straight to the main page, where you have a wide range of accessible, inclusive creative activities, mostly using things that you would already have at home. At the top of the page and throughout the pages, you will also see videos in British Sign Language to translate the site for deaf people. These videos can also be useful if you have difficulties reading and you simply want to hear more of the content. The Join In From Home programme is based on the activities that we would usually be running in East London. Dance Club usually meets on the 4th Monday of each month, and they create improvised masked dance for the screen. Here you can also see their very first film, where they simply made masks from paper plates, covered themselves with fabric, and just moved gently to the music. You can hear as well, there's an improvised soundtrack. So we're suggesting that you make a mask out of anything you can think of. It could be a cardboard box, a paper bag, a paper plate, as in here. Video yourself dancing in it and then share the video with us. We will show it on screen, and we will also enter it into the dance programme of our film festival, which we run every December. If you're temporarily or permanently chair-based, there's also a warm-up you can do here, created by our associate wheelchair dance company Folk in Motion, and that focuses on relaxing your upper body and improving your breathing. The Photographers and Filmmakers Club usually meets on the second Monday of each month. We're inviting you to make a video at home with the theme of home and share it with us. You can use a phone or a camera, make any kind of film you wish, including drama, documentary, dance, animation, artist films, comedy, and they'll be eligible for a CAT award at our December Film Festival. You can also watch with us from home. In addition to Together 2012 TV with Together Unlocked and other live streams, we have the Together Disability Film Festival highlights. Each year we run the International Together Disability Film Festival in Stratford, bringing together a wide range of films by disabled filmmakers, as well as films about disability issues and disabled people. We always publish the programmes online with links to the films that are freely available. So we invite you to revisit our recent film festivals from the comfort of your own home, and also to send us reviews of those films. And finally, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy videos of past live performances, artist talks, and creative workshops that we've produced in the past here. So, for example, from past festivals, we have documentation and films of creative dance workshops, street art performances, dances that the dance club have created, dance performances, and of course, we're continuing to add new activities on a regular basis.
So, hi, welcome, and we are back to join you with some made-up chat, because that's what we do best. So let's carry on having I'm going to run through some of the other things that are on the festival for this week. So as we've said, we have the I Am Tony tomorrow evening. Then on Thursday, we have return of the Pop-Up Poetry Club, which is going to feature many disabled poets from across the spectrum of people who define themselves as disabled. We don't have a full list yet, and that is something to get excited about, to know that you are going to get a great range of poets to hear poetry from. And then later on, you make sure what we're looking for you is what we're going to hoping is that you can come along and bring yourself a drink and something to eat, and enjoy the show.
What's already out there?
We're just going to say that there is also quite a lot of stuff that we've already done in the festival. So everything that's been on the festival is now up online at the Together 2012 website. And again, if I've just lost it, but certainly the launch is up online. The interviews that we've done from last week, I mean, basically everything that we've done, but also the live craft events that were done, the strings and things, which was week Saturday ago, and then the puppet making show from Saturday, also up online, as is the interviews from sorry, I'm getting messages that keep flashing up and I can't read both at the same time. As are the interviews with Gobscure, and all about their show about
It's about Mary Wollstonecraft, yes,
and
which was called Hyenas in Petticoats, and it was kind of, they went through a little bit of kind of the history and the background of Mary's piece, or kind of Mary's art and her life. Kind of went into a little bit about who she was, which, I mean, for me especially, I knew the name, but I didn't know a huge deal about kind of the specifics. So it was kind of really interesting for me to kind of learn about her. And then Rebecca Redican's piece called Delay 6, which again was a really interesting kind of performance around dyslexia and how she kind of processes the world. And then on Saturday, Hazel Brill, who's the youth officer for Together, had a kind of family craft activity called Scruffy Puppets. So there's lots of information available. Sorry, we're trying to keep abreast of the texts that we're getting, as well, about kind of ways you can make scruffy puppets at home. And the idea of these, well, is that they're scruffy. They're kind of they're things that you can make out of just what you have lying around in the house, kind of rolled up pieces of paper, kitchen towels, things like that. You don't need to be kind of sewing and having all sorts of kind of fancy, craft making materials at home. It's very much kind of what have you got lying about in the back of a cupboard somewhere, a bit of sellotape and some felt tip pens and things.
And the beauty of the fact that it's now recorded, as are the strings and things workshops, is that you don't have to worry about not having it exactly there, because it's recorded. You can stop it if they say, oh, you want to go and see if you've got this in the house. You can stop that point, go and search for what you need or what you can find that you think you can make a puppet out of, and then come back and then restart the video and carry on from there.
So a lot of the puppets that Hazel made all kind of goes through making on that piece are finger puppets. So again, it's very much kind of very easy to do at home, kind of fun family activities. And just to highlight, when we were talking about the interviews from Thursday, we do mean those that were part of their performance, not a kind of separate interview. It's a recording of that live performance.
Okay, and then we're going to a couple of weeks ago, the very first article at all that was kind of pre-launch, pre-festival launch interview was with Jess Starnes. Jess is running a project for the festival called Walk With Me. There are still some spaces on this. What Jess has devised is a method of being able to go on virtual visits, virtual walks, virtual tours of kind of almost anywhere in the world, really, or almost anywhere that Google has made a film about. And it is astonishing quite how many places Google seems to have sent their filming equipment now, whether that's cars with cameras on the roof or drones, or I don't know about submarines. I don't know if they've got any undersea stuff yet.
I haven't checked, but I don't think there's an undersea street view.
I want there to be.
I'd love that if that's how we discovered where Atlantis is. It's just Google have gone, oh, it's here. Like, you just drag that little orange guy over the sea, and when it's somewhere it finds a line, it's just Aquaman's just chilling.
Yeah, we find out it's a Bermuda Square and not a triangle.
Yeah.
But I mean, but seriously, so a huge amount of work has gone in by Jess to set this facility up to allow her to take people on guided tours of places either that they used to live, as Julie, our chair, is going to be doing, places they just haven't seen recently because of lockdown, or indeed places they've always wanted to go to and haven't been able to for many reasons, and it's in some ways, lockdown has made the world smaller through digital means. Never in my life did I think that I would be able to, go underwater in a Miami harbor and watch the aquatic life. But thanks to the website discovered by Julie, that became a reality, and it was called the Coral City.
Coral City TV.
Something, but and it was brilliant. It was great, and I ended up screen recording some so I could watch it again, because they have actually gone and taken it down, as far as I'm aware.
Yes. If you are wanting to get involved with Jess and the Walk With Me project, then you can email. It's inclusiveartspractitioner@gmail.com. Don't worry if you're not entirely sure how to spell that. Again, if you go onto the Together website, scroll down the page to the section on Jess's work, you can click through there, and then that email address is there that you can click on or just copy so that you can get in touch with her if you would like to try and secure a space for a virtual walk.
So let's have a look at some of the other pages. So we said it's poetry this Thursday. Then Saturday is Sahira Khan, who is one of our regular contributors. Sahira is a deaf poet, performer, and TV presenter, in fact. And she has a piece which is called "The Cockerel and the Fox" on Saturday. Just thought we'd throw that one up there. But what we want to do is also get you to go and have a look. I mean, that's so yeah. So let's think. Saturday is going to be great, and we'll have more time to talk about that during the week. But there also are a number of exhibitions that are up. Forgive me for not looking at the screen, but I'm trying to get these things up on a different computer screen, just to be able to let you know exactly what they are. And we have. So actually, there are
four actually.
There were 3 live exhibitions, and I think the 4th one will come later. So at the moment, we have the exhibition from Ali Z's show, which was on Tuesday of last week, which is called The Starving Artist, which features her paintings all about her relationship with her body and eating disorders, and the idea that artists have had to starve over time, due to the fact that art and artists aren't always paid very well. Second exhibition is the Reasonable Adjustment exhibition, which is from Justin Edgar. This is a showcases of artifacts he's collected from 30 years, documenting the reasonable adjustment movement, including photographs he took as an art student during the height of their activity in the early 1990s. There is some fascinating stuff in there. I mean, just looking at the highlight pictures on the website to entice you into the exhibition are kind of very provocative and want us to. What would hopefully get you through the metaphorical or digital doors of that exhibition too. Then we have Luminos, which is it's a virtual gallery, which is the latest exhibition by the Shadow Light artists. And there are some incredible drawings within this exhibition. I wish I knew more about all of these different artists, but just please do visit the exhibition. That's the Luminos exhibition from the Shadow Light artists. And I'm just going to click back, and the last one is the Together 2020 Open exhibition, and this features art that is being chosen from artwork created by members of Together, or participants, associates of Together, who've been involved with work in and around everything that we do, but and particularly those with a relationship to Newham.
So I think specifically within that, there's work from Julie. There's a piece of work by me, and there's a piece of work from M as well, which is a piece that I think we highlighted on one of the youth shows. And there's also work from a number of kind of other contributors. And it's just kind of really interesting there's such a kind of variation in the style of art within it as well. There's not it's not kind of one concept or style or kind of process. There's digital art, there's painting, there's kind of physically making things. I think Julie's piece is a kind of digital manipulation of the photo. There's some kind of finger painting stuff, and yeah, there's a real kind of range of different styles in it. So it's quite interesting to kind of flick through and look at the different artworks, because they are so varied. So that is the 4 exhibitions, and again, they can all be accessed on the Together History Festival page, which is on the Together 2012 website. So if you scroll down slightly into towards the top of the page, and again, that has links and kind of more detailed descriptions of each exhibition and how you can access those as well.
So as Josh was saying earlier, if you do want to get involved in any of the upcoming events, then any events that you can get onto, and you, particularly for those of you who need sign language interpretation, then you can follow the Eventbrite page and book yourself a ticket. And it is really, really important to stress that, yes, you do need to be working from a computer as opposed to a phone or a tablet in order to get the multi-screen version, which will also show the sign language. And just to, look at a couple of the other things that are coming up. It will be, as we said, Jesse's Walks. Next Tuesday is World AIDS Day, and we have particular focus on that. And all of these events that are coming up will be on YouTube, as well as streamed via the webinars that we're actually are kind of our live. So our live shows then go directly to YouTube, so you can access those without having to register for the webinars as such. Now I am looking at the time and thinking we're going to go a couple more minutes to look at the rest of the week. So Wednesday, our show is normally has its poetry reference, but we will obviously be continuing to talk lots about the festival this week, and things that are coming up and things that have happened and how it's gone, and perhaps reflecting on some of the moments that we've already really enjoyed. And we'll include our sports and our gaming update from Josh in some form or other this week.
Yes, I think one of the things we're going to talk about more this week, something I wanted to kind of hit on a little bit more last week, is kind of accessibility in games, and games that are kind of doing really well to make, or companies that are doing kind of work to make sure their games are accessible, and that work is being done kind of from the ground up rather than as an afterthought. Kind of ways on how you can find out that, and ways you can find out a little bit more about accessing accessible gaming and kind of equipment that can help people access gaming if they don't necessarily have the kind of physical capability to play with a normal controller.
Okay, so without further ado, then, as normally on a Monday, we finish with our meditation video from Awa. So all that remains is for me to say, on behalf of Ju and Julie in London, and Josh and I in Birmingham, have a lovely afternoon and enjoy this video.
Okay. Let's start with a 90-bit and one more time in and now. Okay. So pretend you are in your favorite place. What you doing there? Are you having fun? Are you with someone? Are you busy? Are you relaxing? Whatever you are doing, there. Right. You're in front of the big ocean. The waves out there in and out, in and out. And you're listening to the sound of the wave and the third. You're listening to the sound of the fish in the sea. There are a lot of sounds of nature you are hearing. You're walking on the beach, and as you're walking, you're leaving your footsteps behind, and you're feeling relaxed, calm, happy. This island where you are, you decide to go to that waterfall, and you're under it, and you feel relaxed, calm. All your worries are in the air. The air is fresh. You're feeling calm. You're feeling relaxed. You're feeling new. See, sometimes in life, you got to have a note to yourself where it's just you. Wherever you are, it's just you in your head. So I want you to stay under the waterfall for a little while and just feel relaxed, feel calm, you feel new, and forget all your worries are long done. You feel relaxed, you feel new. I'm not going to talk for 2 minutes. I just want you to picture yourself under that waterfall. Does it feel nice on your skin? How does it feel? And the birds are singing. The birds are singing. Are humming your favorite song. You are relaxed.